Well, hey everybody, I'm the Crockett Cooner, and this is the Crockett Coonhound Show. It's February the 25th, 2025, the old Cooner's birthday here for those of you that didn't know. And I'm old, folks. I'm old, but you have made it to the Fireside Chats with the old Cooner. And tonight, guys, here on the Fireside Chat, I'm doing something different for everybody that follows us. Now, I've talked with Scooter about this, and I believe this was kind of his brainstorm on this one, and he's right. Wanted to make a video tonight, guys, to kind of tell you which way the Crockett Coonhound Show is going, guys. Now, as always, for my folks that enjoy all outdoor activities, that could be gardening, that could be fishing, that could be hiking, rock climbing. Of course, I'm going to touch on all of that stuff, right? But I have decided, guys, we're going to get back to something that the coon hunters do. And that is, a little of the heritage. What the Crockett Coonhound Show is all about, guys. In the next little bit, I'm going to start focusing on the different breeds of hounds, guys. We're going to talk about all the recognized breeds. We're going to talk about the black and tans, the blue ticks, the red bones. We're going to talk about plot hounds, walker hounds, English hounds. I mean, just about anything you can think of. Maybe even some mixed breed, X-breed for a lot of folks. We're going to talk more about bloodlines and how specific breeding of hunting dogs has got us to where we're at today, because that's part of the Crockett Coonhound Show, folks. Myself and Scooter, we definitely want you to get the kids out. We want you to get in the outdoors. If you don't have children, we want you to experience the outdoors, and raccoon hunting and hunting hounds is just something that a ton of folks really like. And there's a lot of people that have always wanted to get into it, but they don't really know how. They may not want to get on, into it on a professional type of level like I was years ago. They know that there's some specific things that they may not know. They can look here online, they can talk to people, they can find people, but still they don't have the experience. Now, for those folks, and I've been toying with the idea of this, guys, I am actually going to make an online class. Now, I don't know when I'll have it done. Maybe this time next year. I don't know, guys. Can't give you a date on that. Scooter has, in fact, been working on an online class for one of our other websites. But it's going to mainly help folks that have specifically raccoon hunting dogs, and for folks that are new. And I'm going to try to go in depth on a lot of things there and explain it to you guys. And that's part of it with coon hunters. Now, for people that follow me and people that I used to hunt with professionally, there are some folks that have kennels. I knew a gentleman one time. I called him. He was just a carefree individual. He actually ran a huge functioning black and tan dog kennel out in the middle of the United States. I don't remember. I believe it's Kansas is where he was at. I believe. I may be wrong on that. But I asked him one time, how big his kennels were. And I want to say that he told me he had something like 50 miles of chain link fence, all the squares if you totaled it up. And not only did he do it and his kids do it, his father had done it, his grandfather had done it. So we're talking this same line of dogs. They had them, they had bred dogs in, bred certain traits out. They've been doing this since, I believe, the early 1900s. And that is the same for many of the recognized breeds, because people many times don't understand about hounds. And they just kind of hear that, oh, they're hunting dogs, and, that's what they do. Well, that's true. But we're talking a four-legged, high-powered machine when it is trained and it goes into the woods. And actually, if you're a coon hunter, you don't have to do that much. You just kind of polish the edges of the dog. You transport it to where it needs to go hunting. And we're going to get into that a whole lot. We're going to talk about care for them, maintenance for them. I have, in fact, guys, called around, talked to a lot of my old hunting buddies, hunting partners, people that I used to hunt with in different events and things, have different breeds of hounds than what I've got. I'm going to individually try to look at each breed. We're going to talk about bloodlines and how that goes. That'll be pretty extensive and kind of help people, understand about the sport and get their feet wet with it. Because, even if you lived in a remote area and you said, you know what, I've always wanted to get a hound like that, go out at night, chase the old raccoons around, and you have the basic principles, but you don't know quite what to do. That's a raccoon hunter thing. Most all of us have seen the old movie Where the Red Fern Grows, and it is a great film. We've all seen Old Yeller. And in our minds, for a whole lot of us, we're those type of people. Okay? And that's what I'm going to do, guys. That's the way I'm going to head the Crockett Coonhound Show. But don't think that we're giving up on anything. For everybody that has been following us, I'm still going to make you guys some videos. Currently, we have all the parts that were loaded up at the Sandblaster. Those guys, really good group of guys, they actually do graveyard tombstones. And they're going to squeeze the parts in when they're a little low on work. And they're going to try to pick a time that they can do it for us here, that it'll be a sunny, pretty day. Folks that's ever had anything sandblasted, you want to get a little primer on it, get a little paint on it, because if not, you'll be right back in the boat you were in before you carried it to have it sandblasted. But we're going to do that. We are going to finish shining up the aluminum boat, and possibly, I did speak with one of my hunting buddies. Now, this may be this coming up hunting season in fall of the year, but it's possible we may hit some islands that are located in the middle of the river around here. And I'll tell you guys more about that when we do it. We're going to try to get out there on the boat, take the dogs, hunt these islands, and I will definitely bring you guys along for that. And it could be possible. Could be possible. I don't know. I'm going to talk with Scooter about how we could do it. We may make it a live event. That way you can just follow along and watch everything that's going on. Also, for my folks that like all the homesteading things, you guys like gardening, you like grilling outside, you like fire pits, you like all of that. As always, I will continue to make videos about those as they come up. This particular year, though, for all of you that have followed me, I grow a really decent sized garden every year, but I may actually grow for some of the folks located here that have produce stands and sell some of my products to them. And if I'm going to do that, guys, I am definitely going to put more time and effort in it, and I will have the cameras out there. And we're going to talk more about what I'm doing every day as far as that goes. But back to the hunting dogs, we're also going to get into everything from different ideas on hunting dogs, the history of them. As far as people go, we're going to talk about different areas of the U.S. where you're located, and we're going to talk more about hunting in those different areas, because hunting in a swamp somewhere like Louisiana is totally different than hunting in the mountains here in Tennessee, or it is totally different than hunting somewhere when you get on toward, like, say, Chicago, Indiana, where the ground is much flatter and they expect dogs to generally not travel as far. And we're going to get into some of the, well, I would just say jargon, maybe slang terms is the way to put it, about hunting dogs. If you hear somebody in a like a professional hunt, they say that a dog is split treed or he's slick treed or it's a den tree. We're going to really get into what all that means. We're going to get into how they score hunting dogs, because there is no weapons present at a major event like that, guys. We're going to talk a lot about the rules and things, how you can't have, excuse me, guys, hunting dogs going through a field of cattle and one of them stop and start chasing a cow. That's in fact called harassing the livestock. And by the time I am done, for any of you folks that follow me or anybody that is new that starts following us, as always, definitely please give us a like down there, give us a comment. Myself and Scooter will try to get back to you as soon as we possibly can. But for all of you that are new and stuff, I'm going to try to continuously drop you guys some videos on hunting dogs. One of my drone guys, we're going to specialize a lot too on the blue ticks. He has a blue tick hound. We're going to talk a whole lot about that particular dog. She needs to be hunted more, and we're going to kind of show you the progress of her as she goes. There's going to be quite a few things that we're going to get into. We're going to get into the dog foods more, how that actually benefits a dog. The old cooner here, I'm a table scrap man. I am. I give them some table scraps with their food. We're going to get into their health a whole lot, and we're actually going to get into, and I'm going to try to touch on it, different dogs and their different personality types of traits. Now, I know that sounds strange, but for anybody that's just a pet lover, you have a dog there in the house. You could have two dogs, and they kind of buddy up, but they got different personalities, so to speak, and they can read you good. That's part of what we're going to start talking about. And along with it, guys, I'm going to throw in some small stories and things that I have seen on hunts, things that we did while we were hunting. Even you have to understand about the raccoons, and you have to understand about the game that you're after. And they are crafty, smart little animals. I mean, sometimes they can really mess a young dog up. I mean, it's like a game of chess that's played really quick. I mean, it's a strategic thing for them. So I just wanted to stop tonight, make you guys this small video, tell you what all's coming up here at the Crockett Coonhound Show. And, definitely I had written some stuff on Facebook, and then I thought, better get out, get the fire going, make a little fireside chat, and tell everyone kind of where everything is standing. But we're going to focus more for everybody that follows me, especially here at YouTube. We're going to focus more on the hunting dogs, and possibly, I don't know. I have been out of the professional raccoon hunting game for a long time, guys, but I may start going to some of the local clubs, talk to a few people. We're going to talk about some of the most recent bloodlines of hounds, and we're going to talk about some of the classic ones too, because many folks that are new to this, just kind of give you a little something to do here, a little homework, so to speak. If you're bored and you got a second, and you're scanning the old interwebs one night, just go and type in vintage coonhound pictures, or vintage coonhound hunting pictures, and go to the images and check them out. And you can tell by just those photographs how long this sport has been around. And I'm going to try to show you folks how it's all progressed and where we're at today, because for people that don't understand, I'll just try to quickly build you a little mental picture while we're all sitting here talking. I had a dog. I actually used him for the picture. For everybody that follows us on Facebook, he's an old black and tan hound. I don't have black and tans anymore. His name was Hoss. He came directly from the Dark Hollow Hobo Hoss, which was his grandfather. So for people that are new, you may be like, what's he talking about? But for people that are coon hunters or new at one time, you've heard the name, And guys, he was a big ball mouth hound. You could really hear him. And when he was there in his prime, he could go to an area, big farm out in the middle of nowhere, and I could generally tree, and I'm averaging here, about 4 raccoons in an hour, and be back at the car and be headed back home. I mean, he was that good. It was like watching a machine work. I've never seen anything like it, and he enjoyed every minute of it. And a little side note, guys, when he got to be old, he wanted to go. you could tell he'd stand out there at the pens at night and just bark, bark. And I would take him, and he would go out, and he would just fall slick treed and look at me like, that's good enough, isn't it? I'm like, yep, it is, because we're going to get into his mindset, why he thought like that, because he was a hunting dog, now did dog things, but how he continued to want to do that. And that comes from years and years of breeding and practice and training and things. Because I personally, I'm going to say something here, guys. I love animals, period. I love dogs especially, but I really love my hound dogs. I have ever since I was a kid. Came from a group of people that enjoyed hunting dogs. And when you really, really get into them, you understand them, you're finding yourself while you're at work or in your spare time thinking about them, talking about them. You know, there's a meme here on the internet where there's a gentleman there in a pair of hip waders with a headlamp, and it'll say something like Christmas, and nobody wants to talk about hunting dogs. That little meme will mean a whole lot more to you. So for the folks that are, new, and they're saying, hey man, I think I might enjoy this, but I don't know enough about it to get going. And who knows, maybe you're in a remote area. I don't know. I don't know what your situation is, but I'm going to try my best to clear that up for you folks. So anyways, guys, I'm going to stop the video right here tonight. Just a little thing of where we're headed with the show, what we're planning on doing. And for everybody that follows us, if you know anybody that might be interested in this kind of content, definitely myself and Scooter, we would like to ask you guys to share the videos to them and tell them to give us a follow. And that way, as the new content comes up, they'll see it. So anyways, guys, I say it all the time. Stay safe on the water. Stay safe in the woods. And definitely if you're out chasing the old hounds around in the middle of the night, stay safe out there. Something can poke you in the eye. And stay tuned here at the Crockett Coonhound Show. Myself and Scooter, I'll have you guys another video dropping shortly. You guys have a great day.